Welcome to this week's AI Roundup, all the news from the AI world that you probably missed. This week, we talk about some interesting things. We start off a little bit low energy, but towards the end, and especially at the end, this guy and that guy devolve into bickering about US politics, which, frankly, I think you should probably skip. So around the 20-minute mark, just feel free to hang out there. Yeah, no, for real. It's actually quite an interesting, as an outsider from the UK, it's an interesting topic, especially because the UK is not doing all that great at the moment. Anyway, like and subscribe. Enjoy the episode.
I can't help it. Let's get into it. I try not to. Peter's favorite show of the week, AI Roundup.
Yes, that is the best drum roll that you're going to hear this week.
Spectacular that you'll hear this week, maybe ever, as far as
yeah, ever. Yes, starting off with the Tesla self-driving tech powered by NVIDIA AI chips. This is in the AI business website, so it's really just a puff piece of PR.
Well, what I liked about it is specifically they talked about Tesla is switching on a cluster of 10,000 NVIDIA H100 chips, which Sean, I'm sure, can tell us a little bit about. But more importantly, that it's an indication that they're ramping up their full self-driving technology, which I am very excited about.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Is it safe yet? Or are they just
I don't care.
Make some money?
Put me in a self-driving car today.
Oh man, I mean, aren't you the AI fearmonger? Aren't you the one that doesn't want AI to take over?
This doesn't feel like AI though. This feels like appropriate use of machine learning.
Oh, okay. So when ChatGPT goes crazy, it's just a machine learning model. It's not really proper intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence. But when AI is being used to like drive your car around a busy city street,
sure.
It's just machine learning.
And I guess it does make similar kinds of mistakes. But if my sense was that that the AI driving my car was likely to be like, oh, is this a road or a sidewalk? I don't know. I'm just going to proceed with confidence. Like, I guess they do. But
I will point out that the H100, this chip, this NVIDIA GPU, it retails for $29,000 to $39,000.
Whoa, one of them?
Wow, a singular.
Can it play
$30,000 chip, and they're putting together 10,000 of them?
10,000 of them. So they probably got a good deal from NVIDIA, right?
That's going to cost $20K, like $1 million.
Yeah. Well, at least.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's a high number. That's for sure.
Maybe even $2 million.
Whoa, that's crazy.
It's quite an outlay.
2 and $1 million in the same sentence?
That's nuts.
I mean, it's I don't know, 60 million or something like that, right? So that's not that much.
Nobody
knows. Supercomputers back in the day, all the big craze used to cost way more.
I mean, it makes sense that they would do this. Like, this is exactly what we talked about. Like, this supercomputer is gonna be able to control the hive mind of all of the different little Teslas on the road.
That's what. Yeah. So if we could just get back to this for 1 second, we don't have to go back to the story, but like, is that what's happening here? Is that do they have like a central location, which is what is
I think
it doing?
that the car locally drives, but I think that all of the cars are going to be like soft controlled and like soft communicated to with these through these giant supercomputers. And like these giant supercomputers are the ones that are going to make sure that there's never any traffic, right? Like they're the ones that are going to because you cannot have a 30, 40, 50, 60, 100, 200 millisecond delay when we're talking about driving.
This is straight out
we
of
have
a bad
way more than that as humans.
Probably. But you can't quantify the ping difference of a human driving and a and a machine. So why do I say that? Is because if it comes out that a kid got run over by a Tesla because the Tesla didn't react fast enough, and they go and look and it says that, well, that's because this Tesla was in South Africa and our servers are in Silicon Valley. So because of that, or in Texas or wherever the fuck, if the servers were in South Africa or the driver was in Texas, the ping, the millisecond delay between the server and the computer would have been so low that blah blah blah, and like, oh, okay, now they're sued. But like, I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think that instead this supercomputer is going to be the orchestrator. What's the guy with the thing
conductor.
Called the supercomputer is going to be the conductor, but the cars are still going to decide what to do right?
I don't think that's going to be the model, but we'll find out. 250 milliseconds, by the way, human reaction time to visual stimulus.
250. I feel like mine is probably around like 190
milliseconds or seconds.
Milliseconds.
Maybe.
I know that because I just tested. Sorry, Peter. I know that because I just tested my reaction time. Actually, there's a ping test you can do.
Human ping test.
Just I know we're going off target here, but maybe we talked last week about the potential side effects of TikTok brain. Maybe that could be one of them, is sharpening our reflexes by having,
get faster at deciding, like, don't show me this.
Yeah.
Actually,
damn it.
Actually, gamers, specifically first-person shooter gamers, are the ones who have like self-trained the fastest reaction times.
I wonder if that's
so crazy.
Cause or an effect.
What do you mean?
I kind of feel like gamers who are good gamers could be predisposed to having a faster reaction time.
Oh no, I mean people who are, doesn't need to be good. Your average first-person shooter like Call of Duty gamer or like Counter-Strike gamer is gonna have a faster reaction time than fucking TikTok brain Susan, who's like, no.
Yeah, I wonder which is the cause and effect, though. That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
All right. AI cannot hold copyright, according to a federal judge. The point of the article, well, so Judge Beryl Howell, U.S. District Court for D.C., said that generative AI output cannot be copyrighted. The platform cannot hold copyright. And the analysis is that this essentially doesn't change anything because the assumption all has been along that they don't. But I like that there's a ruling on it.
It's one of those negative rulings that kind of just eliminates one sliver of potential issues in the future. So yeah, fair enough. Okay, the two things that came to mind straight away were, okay, what about in 20 years when AI is way more advanced and verging on sentient? And second of all, how is the rest of the world going to decide it? This is the US, but will other countries have a different ruling? And then people will just run their servers in that country if they want AI to have a copyright or something.
I feel like generally the world, the modern world copies America's copyright laws.
I mean, it has done, but there hasn't been an issue like AI before, like a computer creating this. This is a fundamental shift that hasn't been really considered before. I
did read that now companies now are trying to sneak basically like sketchy artists in to work on the shit that AI generated so that it's copyrightable.
Interesting.
There you go. Another loophole right there.
Yeah.
Just modify the output. The big question is, who does own the copyright?
Well, I think that goes to what you said about how's it going to play out in the future. Right now, nobody's making money from generative AI in that way. But as soon as the big players get in and start making money from the stuff, so like if major studios started generating video content with generative AI, like they'd still argue they can copyright that. So once that catches up in the legal system, this is absolutely going to change.
Yeah, like if I got an AI to create an image for me and got a T-shirt printed on it, can anybody copy that? Is it public domain image, or is it my T-shirt? I don't know. Copyright's tough, man. It's complicated. Let's go to another simple story.
Well, so in keeping with copyright, Disney, the New York Times, and CNN are taking action to block ChatGPT from crawling their content to protect their own copyright of their material, which is not new.
Isn't Disney the company? Isn't that the company that didn't they just use AI on fucking the Secret Wars TV show that they were dropped with Nick Fury? Yes, they did for their intro. That's right, they did use AI. And it was trash. It looked terrible. It looked like some fucking noob with a 1060 did it.
It's a very disappointing series.
So disappointing. It was so trash. Lifelong Marvel fan, and Disney just decided to take a nice big creamy Mickey Mouse shit all over it.
Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm disenchanted with the world at the moment. There's nothing joyous about the world this week that I can see. Even our favorite creative outlets, you know, there used to be things that you could retreat to and kind of get. The only thing left is my Kindle. Is the stories in my Kindle that I've been reading a lot. I've been off Twitter. I've been off the social media networks. I've not even so much YouTube, Disney movies and Marvel stuff. You know, I used to love all that stuff, and now it's I don't know.
Ahsoka has been okay so far, but I will say that my escape currently is Baldur's Gate 3, which is such a good game. Yeah. Oh my god.
I actually started playing it.
Oh my god, I've got it, but I haven't started playing it. And it's made by a genuinely, well, as far as I can tell, good studio that has a long history of building on previously excellent products to culminating in this
and releasing a finished game, you guys.
Yeah. Without microtransactions.
With a hard stop, no microtransactions, nothing. This is the game. This is the game you get. Enjoy it. You might get a DLC later. It's going to be sick, but this is the game. Yeah. It's finished. And let me tell you, I've already ran through it. It is perfect. It's probably, I would say it's the best game I've played in the last 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So any other Disney news that we might want to hear about? I don't know. Or...
as John mentioned, they were both blocking copyright of their content and blocking AI in defense of their content, but also using AI to put people out of work. But just your standard hypocrisy, sure.
Classic Disney move.
I mean, every company is going to do that. There's no hypocrisy. It's just whatever makes them money. If argument A makes them money today, but argument B makes them money tomorrow, they don't care.
Yeah, I suppose that's not hypocritical if they are just blatant about it.
Yeah, they don't care.
They're not hiding it.
Americans are more concerned than excited by AI advances, reveals a Pew Research study.
Right, before...
Yeah, go ahead, Peter.
Before Mike, explicitly excludes me from this, I'm gonna exclude myself. I don't care about this story. Americans think what they like. I'm more excited.
It's like... It's like this article could be like Americans more concerned than excited by blank. Like it could be like Americans more concerned than excited by Joe crossing the street the wrong way. Like, no, it feels like such a okay, fine. Here, more Americans more concerned than excited by the internet. 1995.
You guys keep downplaying the risks of AI.
Okay, what was the risks of the internet? What were the risks of television? What were the risks
social media?
Of video
I think
games?
Is a fully realized risk of the internet that is terrible for humanity.
Okay, and what about the ability to share and publish research and discoveries to the whole world?
But is sharing?
Okay, here's something cool. Here's something cool for you. Okay, this has been on my mind for years that I've wanted to do this. Wikipedia, or the Wikimedia Foundation, right? The owner of Wikipedia, I think, right, Peter?
Yeah, Wikimedia.
Yeah. They release monthly dumps of Wikipedia, and what I mean by that is they release monthly backups of all the articles on Wikipedia, every single one. And you, dear user, dear viewer, you can go and download this dump for free. Also, like us and subscribe to us. Thank you. And you can download it for free. And then there's software out there that you can use, like Keyweek, or Kiwix or whatever. There's plenty of them. That is like wiki clone. It's just a wiki like back end and front end that lets you host your own copy of Wikipedia. So this has been on my mind for a long time. I wanted to do this for a long time. I have a server. It's a nice server, a lot of storage, good stuff. And I got around to doing this last week. So I now have a local copy of Wikipedia. It was really easy. I mean, wow. The only thing that took a long time was downloading Wikipedia. So I tested it with the non-images, which is 13 gigs. But with images, it's like 100 gigs. So I will grab that because now I've tested it. And then I will have a localized copy of Wikipedia of every single Wikipedia article. That's 6.6 million articles, you guys. That ranges from like anything like recipes and like DNS setups and like race cars and
we've heard of Wikipedia. We get it. Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm trying to say is, like, in the event that, I don't know, the internet goes out for an extended period of time and like I have to know something, like I have that ability now.
Cool. So
modern day prepper.
The issue was the risk, and yes, there are. So in the case of the internet, the benefits probably outweigh the risks. But one of the risks of the internet is not necessarily that it will gain sentience and destroy humanity, which is a risk of AI. So I don't think it's the same thing.
Okay. Nothing that's happened so far with this AI whiz-bangery makes me feel like I am not living in a B-range sci-fi movie. Like, it's all like, if you had a montage at the beginning of a sci-fi movie that was about the advent of AI, it would have news headlines slapped all over it, like this one. Oh, Americans concerned about AI. Americans, I don't know. Skynet goes online. The robots rise up. we like Terminator. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you could put it in the category of a boring dystopia, but they're loading into drones and military robots that are out killing people right now. They're loading it into what?
It's the Terminator storyline, isn't it?
I mean, in it, yeah. So you can kind of discount it by saying like, "Oh, we've seen it in a cheesy movie," but it's actually happening.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, there are other sci-fi movies out there where everything works out. Okay.
Yeah, like that one space exploration movie I don't remember the name of, where the AI is this big box that walks around, but it has like, it's like kind of neat and it's like weirdly nimble.
Danger Will Robinson. It's Lost in Space.
Is that what you're talking about? Lost in Space?
Is it Lost in Space?
I don't know.
No. Lost in Space is like an alien AI. No. It's not Lost in Space.
No, it's not an alien. It's a robot.
Yeah.
It's an alien robot.
No, it's just a robot. Well, in the Lost in Space, in the current Lost in Space series, it's an alien robot. In the original TV show,
but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
to go with Peter and I are old. That's why we're thinking of the original robot.
Okay, boomer. The young person's talking. Yeah. Okay. Kidding. Jesus, that's me.
The young person will mind his place.
You mean the one who doesn't have control over editing of the show?
Damn it!
With your parents.
But I think I'm honestly more excited about AI. I don't see the threat. I really don't. I don't see it. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know.
As we've established, you're young. So the last story in our roundup is that somebody studied ChatGPT for political bias and found, unsurprisingly, that it has a liberal left-wing political bias.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of surprised by this, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah, because I think that a lot of the right-wing stuff is more kind of out there. Like, it's more, there's more of it. It's more bombastic. It's more like, there's more spammy,
Well, I would argue that when training, sorry, Peter, but I see where you're going. I would argue that when training ChatGPT,
I don't need you to finish saying it. I know what you're saying.
No, but
just stop talking. I already know where this is going.
Hold on.
That's the whole podcast. Okay? So you know what it's saying. See you later.
When I feel like when they were training ChatGPT in the beginning, like there's a lot of manual. This is good, this is bad by humans, and they would get these huge collections of truth social where everyone's like, fuck this race, or like down with women's rights, you know, and like this person sitting there is like, yeah, that's bad. Like, obviously, this is not good stuff. You should then,
especially if they got applicants to do the training.
well, like,
maybe they
and
like,
did they?
Yeah, I think a lot of the people were from like poor towns in Africa. They got paid like $1 an hour or something
on OpenAI's part. That's big yikes. But my point is still that actually still stands, that like these people that were training the model in the beginning were like, yeah, civil rights, good, equality, good, like
because they were people,
right? Exactly.
And I think you're both kind of getting to the same thing, which is that well. So more people are liberal, especially issue by issue. There seems to be more conservative content online because those people are just shouting all the time. So it feels like a outsized proportion of the content. And I think also, if you look issue by issue, most people are more progressive. Gun control.
Yeah.
The war on drugs, abortion, immigration, any social healthcare, taxation of the rich.
So American.
People are overwhelmingly progressive on issue by issue, even though they may politically say like, oh no, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. I think the other piece is they used the political compass test to measure this, but I didn't find anywhere where they said like kind of what the average of everyone is that they're comparing to. So like, is this more liberal overall than kind of the general public? I think was an unanswered question to my mind when I read through the study.
You're speaking, Mike, you just made all of your examples were very American based. Like if we're looking at the world,
obviously.
If we're looking at the world itself is generally liberal. Sans like
that's what I said.
Some small but that's okay. If you look at all of Europe and all of Africa and like big parts of Asia, most are either super far left or like central left. And then obviously you'll have some big patches of like nationalist, authoritarian, whatever. But like even those countries will universally agree that healthcare should be free, right? Like it's kind of crazy that America is the exception here. And
that's true, actually. So a large part of the world does have much tighter gun control, much more liberal abortion rights, much better healthcare.
But so what I'm saying, they're not more liberal for having it. Americans want it as much. We just don't have it.
I know what you're saying. I hear you.
But I think if Americans wanted it as much, they would have voted it in by now.
No.
Right there, they would have forced their
lobbyists and money.
There's too much corporate
but like
sorry,
like that's just not a valid argument for if everyone wanted it, right? Like then one, that's a failure on the American people.
Who are you going to vote for to get it? You've got to choose between Biden and Trump. Neither of them are going to give it to you.
Bernie. And
Bernie didn't win.
That's not true. When the Democratic Party decided to fucking play favorites and chose Hillary over Bernie, the people should have actually had an uproar.
What
instead
people?
of like, oh, shucks.
Come on, kids.
Armed rebellion? What are you going to do? The corporate influence drives that.
But like, you have to protest. You have to like go speak your voice. And like, clearly protesting does work. We saw that with the whatever million fucking whatever anonymous march. Like, protesting works. Like
according to that thing I can't remember.
I'm not into politics. I don't actually care. What I do care about is that I have a 3090 actually in the mail. I finally got one. I'm gonna do a little bit of self-training, you guys. It's because we're gonna do a little bit of AI training, a little bit of model reinforcing.
This might be one of our longest episodes we've ever done. So,
true.
Yeah.
Since we stopped doing hour-long shows 2 years ago.